Xbox is going to have a big 2021, and we have a lot to talk about. But if you're new to the channel, please share and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Now, even though we're in March, we've had a lot of Xbox news, but since everything's official now and all out in the wild, I think it's best that we have this on the channel just for going forward.
So obviously I can't sit here and say every Bethesda game is exclusive, because we know that's not true. There's contractual obligations that we're going to see through, as we always do in every one of these instances. We have games that exist on other platforms, and we're going to go support those games on the platforms they're on. There's communities of players. We love those communities, and we'll continue to invest in them. And even in the future, there might be things that have either contractual things or legacy on different platforms that we'll go do. But if we're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. And that's our goal. That's why we're doing this. That's the root of this partnership that we're building, and the creative capability we will be able to bring to market for our Xbox customers. It is going to be the best it's ever been for Xbox after we're done here.
Xbox technology continues to improve, and as we see with the launch of a lot of consoles, not all the games are optimized to their best, but as we see now with developers having more time with the tools, games are looking and performing stellar now, especially with the latest Digital Foundry videos. They just needed time, and as we're seeing, games are just going to look and perform better on both Xbox Series S. So, back to more technology. Earlier in the year, Microsoft talked more about the FPS Boost program for backwards compatible titles, and I've played some. So, Prey, for instance, Prey at 60 frames is amazing. Watch Dogs 2 at 60 frames plays like a different game completely. Sniper Elite 4, different. Dishonored at 60 frames is how it's meant to be. Skyrim at 60 frames, it's how it's meant to be. And it's just good to see that the Microsoft backwards compatible team, they're taking care of these games. You know, they have all this technology in their hands, and they can do so much for these games, as we saw last generation with the resolution boosts. And now we're seeing automatic HDR in games. And now we're seeing automatic HDR in a lot of those titles that had resolution boosts. So we have 4K HDR backwards compatible games now. It's just good to see the team taking care of their legacy. Now back to the games, the new games. So earlier in the year, Microsoft, and I should say Bethesda, announced Indiana Jones, this brand new adventure game by Machine Games. The game will be set apparently in between the second and third films. And considering it is Machine Games, they kind of know what they're doing when it comes to that era. But we're talking about this year, and Indiana Jones is not coming in this year. However, it's been long enough, especially now, that we could potentially see announced this year a new Wolfenstein game. Now, in 2017, Machine Games came out with Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. It was fantastic in its time. It's been long enough. But let's talk about Ninja Theory. So Ninja Theory, British studio, have multiple teams, and they have this brand new workspace now, and they have a new area for motion capture, and they have a lot of in-house technology they made themselves for this stuff. So we're going to see a lot of really impressive games from them. And this year, I do believe we will see more on Hellblade 2. Ninja Theory are making multiple games. So, for instance, while I do think we will see Ninja Theory this year, I don't think it will release this year. I do think it will release next year. But they have another game in development called Project Mara. Now, when it comes to Ninja Theory, they know what they're doing when it comes to psychological games. And Project Mara is a psychological horror game set in a modern household. But the reason I bring up Project Mara is because the technology we saw with that game last year, it was impressive. Like, yes, it was corridors and a sink, and we saw some screenshots, but this is photorealism unlike we've seen in anything before. And when it comes to horror games, you want realism in a horror game. And as we've seen with the video last year and the screenshots this year, it's really impressive. And the fact that we're going to see these kinds of titles come from Microsoft is just great. Next up, Psychonauts 2. Now, this game was listed as content complete earlier on in the year. They are going to take advantage of Xbox Series X and S tech. So, yes, we will see this game this year. And as platformers go, platformers can look fantastic. And this game looks really good. So, if you want a 3D platformer this year on Xbox, this will be a must-buy. Trust me. Next up, in one of my personal most anticipated titles, a game that's coming this summer to Xbox, Flight Simulator 2020. Now, this game can be considered niche, but again, this is the first game of its kind on a console. Yes, we've had flight games in the past, but nothing like this. This is the entire Earth, dynamic weather, dynamic night and day. It's literally a simulation of Earth, and you just fly where you want. There's over 40,000 airports / landing strips in the game, and Microsoft can do so much with that tech. But also we have Forza. Now, Forza is a big thing because there's rumors flying around that we're going to get Forza Horizon 5 this year. Now, while I did originally think that we would see Motorsport first, since it was announced first, there's too many rumors flying around. But anyway, let's talk about Starfield. Now, Jeff Grubb recently said that this game could come out this year, and it's been theorized for a while that Microsoft want to get this game shown this year. It's a big title for Microsoft. This is the main reason they got Bethesda, in my opinion, because this is going to be Bethesda's next big sci-fi game, and a sci-fi RPG launching this year with Halo Infinite is going to be a big push for the Xbox Series X and S, because with Starfield and with Halo, a lot of people don't realize this, that this year, especially after last, this year is going to be a kind of a second relaunch for these consoles, because hopefully the world's going to be in a better place. We're going to see games take more advantage of the technology. But again, essentially, all the hardware manufacturers this year are going to use this holiday to essentially relaunch their consoles. So Microsoft's wanting Halo out, and the rumors flying around that it's going to get delayed again, that's false. It's not happening. Whenever I see rumors for stuff like this, I look back to see where it came from. Someone made a post on Reddit. It's not a rumor, but we're not here to talk about stuff like that. These hardware manufacturers are going to use these games this year to essentially relaunch these consoles, because people will hopefully be able to go out more to stores to buy them. We're going to have more consoles available to the public. But outside of all the games, we have events to talk about. We will not see the return of live events this year, but people at Bethesda did say that we will see a summer event. Microsoft and Bethesda normally have separate events, so we potentially are going to see 2 Microsoft Xbox events this summer. And considering the ESA is doing their own E3 thing and own digital E3 thing, I do not believe Microsoft will be taking part of it. That's just my opinion in the matter. But again, multiple events it'll look like for gamers. And also, we are going to see games announced this year that release this year. So like I was saying, Microsoft with the new technology, the backwards compatibility, new games coming out, more hardware out in the wild. It's going to be a great time for gamers, and again, it's just going to be a great time for gamers all around, because all the games coming out this year look fantastic. And yeah. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, please hit like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. I'll have more videos coming soon. I'm wanting to get out multiple videos a week, because I've got other stuff planned. And yeah, let me know what other pieces of content you would like to see me do in the future on the channel, as well as my normal videos, and I'll try and get those out as soon as possible. Anyway, my Twitter will be in the description down below. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Stay safe and stay awesome.